998, 999 and 1000. Hi everyone, I'm Mr Masters. I'm the head of PE at Moseley School in Sixth Form, and I'm here now to talk to you about Sport Studies as an option choice for your GCSEs next year. Thank you for clicking on this link and expressing your interest in Sport Studies. I'm going to share with you some information on the screen behind me and talk about the course, how it runs, how it works, and hopefully give you some more information to make a good choice to do Sport Studies next year. So what is the course of Sport Studies then? Well, it's a vocational course. That means that it involves both practical and coursework-based elements. Also, that coursework is combined with an exam that you will sit in Year 10, and that's the way that you are assessed generally during the course. It involves different tasks that are both computer-based and also practical, so you will take part in a lot of sport and get opportunity to do that throughout the course. You do 4 modules over the time that you do, over the 3 years, and those 4 modules I'll explain later in the presentation. Finally, all assignments will be marked by your teachers, they'll be moderated by the department, and they'll be verified as well externally. So I'm going to talk to you now about the grading and the results that you can receive through doing Sport Studies. So you work towards achieving a pass, a merit or distinction at level 1 or level 2 throughout the course, the highest being a level 2 distinction star. Students can work towards that level 2 distinction star or level 2 distinction and achieve a grade 8 at GCSE. If you achieve a level 2 pass, then that's considered a grade 4, which is a common pass amongst most GCSE subjects. Last year, we was very fortunate to have some really good students doing Sport Studies, and we had over 70% achieve higher than that level 2 pass. We also had 20% that achieved the highest grade of level 2 distinction, which is a fantastic achievement by our students on Sport Studies. In terms of what the course involves then, there are 4 units that you will study. There's contemporary issues, there's developing sport skills, sports leadership, and outdoor and adventurous activities. I'm going to explain through those now, what's involved, and also give you a flavour of some of the content that we will cover. So firstly, contemporary issues, that's the examination unit that you will study. There's some targets within that called learning outcomes. So learning outcome 1 is about understanding the issues that affect participation in sport. So it looks at the current issues in sport, it looks at potentially who does sport, what the barriers are, what the potential solutions are for those barriers, and also what makes a sport popular or not. LO2 is then going on to look about the values that we have in sport. So when we do sport, what are the benefits of doing it? And also we look at not only the benefits of sport, but also the Olympic Games. We also study interesting topics that our students often really engage with, such as looking at performance-enhancing drugs and sports stars that may be taking that to gain an advantage illegally in their sport. In LO3, you look at hosting major sporting events. So a lot of our focus goes back to 2012 when Great Britain hosted the Olympics in London, but we also look forward to current events, and I'm sure we'll be recapping Tokyo 2020, that's an upcoming summer event as well. In LO4 we look at the role of national governing bodies in sport. They're the organisations that are responsible for organising and managing sport in the UK and around the world. In terms of how you're assessed for that unit, you sit an exam in that unit. This is the only exam that you will sit in Sport Studies. It's a 1-hour, 60-mark exam that students normally sit in Year 10, and normally our students do quite well on this exam, applying the knowledge they've studied in the unit here. The next unit is developing sport skills. This is quite a practical-based unit, and it really suits those students that have that good practical ability. There's 3 practical assessments that you have in this. Individual sport, so if you do something like athletics, if you maybe do gymnastics, trampolining, those are our individual sports. The second part of that is team performance. We have a lot of people who do things like cricket, football, basketball, take part in Sport Studies. This is where you can really excel and achieve through your practical ability at those sports. The third practical performance is about you as an official in a sporting activity. Historically, we've done table tennis tournaments as a school and run those locally for other schools in our network, and our Sport Studies students take a leadership role in those and officiate in those competitions. The written element of coursework in this unit is a review of your performance. So if you're a footballer, you reflect on your performance as a footballer and highlight your strengths, your weaknesses, and you make practices to improve on your weaknesses. It's a blended module of both practical and written coursework, and that's the developing sport skills module. Sport leadership is the next module, and this one is all about learning what is a leader in sport, what roles they have, what responsibilities, what makes a good leader. We look at examples like Pep Guardiola, the manager of Manchester City, Jose Mourinho, what makes them good, what makes them effective, how do they try and lead their teams to be successful. You also look in this about you developing your own leadership skills. So you make a session plan and a risk assessment for you to deliver a practical session for other children at school. In this unit then, you also evaluate your performance as a leader. So following the delivery of your session, you evaluate it and reflect on what went well and what could improve. Once again, there's a combination then of practical work and also some written coursework in this unit. The final unit that you study is one that a lot of our students enjoy and learn a lot about: outdoor adventurous activities. Again, there's a combination of written and practical work for this. In the written work, you learn about the provision of outdoor adventurous activities. So where is it that you can go and do these activities? Where can you go and take part in rock climbing? Where can you go and take part in mountain biking? How do those centres work? How do they operate? We learn about that in LO1. In LO2, we look at the benefits you can develop through doing those sports. So when you go and do a rock climbing session, how does that make you feel? What skills can you develop as well? We also then start to plan the delivery of your own outdoor adventurous activity session. Within the written coursework, those elements all link to the practical. There is a practical component then where we go out of school for a day and we take part in an outdoor adventurous activity residential day. So we'll take part in several different activities, we'll learn about them, how to be safe when we're doing them, what skills can we develop, and then by the end of the day, students will have a great experience hopefully something new in the outdoor adventurous world. Now, all of those units combine together to make the Sport Studies course, but it's a bit more than just about the learning that our students do on Sport Studies. There's further opportunities to develop their skills and learn outside the classroom. So there are extracurricular trips available, like I just said about the outdoor adventurous unit. There's a trip day involved in that, as well as other trips where we go and look at sporting events. We look at different extracurricular visits to sporting competitions as well. There are also opportunities for students to take part in leadership in school through sport, so leading on sporting events, as well as taking part in our own extracurricular clubs and competitions. And students that sign up for Sport Studies are really encouraged to take part in those clubs to excel in their practical performance. An important consideration for next year for your GCSE options is the career opportunities that link to the course. For Sport Studies, it's a real advantage that it's not only a good course to take part in and enjoy when you're doing it, but also has a link to a wide variety. You're not going to really narrow down your choices by doing Sport Studies. So on the screen behind me are lots of different roles and opportunities, career-wise, that you can do following doing sport. Just highlighting some of them there. There's obviously the link to teaching. So being a PE teacher, you could maybe link to that. You could also look at different management roles, whether it be in the leisure industry, maybe working in a leisure centre, maybe managing a business of your own in the sporting world. You could also think about well-being. That's going to be a massive thing in the future in terms of mental well-being and the link to sport as a way to improve that. So students who take part in Sport Studies could definitely create a career for themselves in that world. There's lots and lots of different opportunities in Sport Studies, and also it does link to a lot of the science routes as well. So you could go on at level 3 or sixth form level to study something like sports science and then take that to university level as well. So it does offer those links to more scientific courses as well as the vocational. So that's the presentation and the information about Sport Studies. If you do have any questions about how the course works or the opportunities at Moseley School for that, please feel free to get in touch with myself. I'm Mr. Masters, the head of PE at Moseley School, and you can contact me through the email address that's on the screen there. Thank you again for taking the time to click on the link and look at this video about Sport Studies. Hopefully you do choose Sport Studies next year, and we really look forward to teaching you in the PE department at Moseley. Thank you.